This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at underdogfantasy.com, promo code GOLFSGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Looking for all of SGPN's picks and podcasts in one convenient place? Download the SGPN app wherever you get your apps to join the party. Ever had your deposit blocked by your bank right before a big bet? Ever needed to cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables? Edge Boost has your back. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors. Edge Boost gives you fast, reliable access to your funds, making it easier to move your money around when you need it. For you high rollers, you can move up to $250,000 in a day with your Edge Boost Visa debit card with unlimited withdrawals. It gets better every time you deposit. You will get a 0.5% cashback rewards with no usage fees and no minimum balance. Edge Boost is a debit card that makes it easy to get started with credit checks, no minimum balance, and no usage fees. Verify your identity and get ready to go. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. And finally, we're brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, props for every single game. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a deposit match up to $1,000. All right, ad reads out of the way. Dom, we are here. I'm not going to skip over it. We got to talk about the Masters. We got to talk about Rory McIlroy. We got to talk about what went down all week because we didn't have a chance to talk earlier in the week about the Masters. Right. So, first of all, what was your head going into the week on the Masters? Give like a short microcosm of not your picks, but just like the overall Masters outlook going into the week.
So, I was pretty much honed in on the top of the board. I mean,
okay.
Rory was my guy. I didn't bet him. If anyone who watches the show kind of knows that we don't really tend to go that low. If we do, it's rare. I couldn't get there at 6.5 to 1. That's pretty much the best number all week. It seemed a little too short for me, considering all things, but I don't know. It just felt right. I mean, the biggest thing for me heading into Augusta every single year is form. And you look at Rory.
Hard to argue his form, yeah.
Already had the wins. I mean, even dating back to the end of last year, he was just on fire. So it was easy to see. I mean, he, in my books, probably should have been the favorite over Scotty. Not that they were that far separated, but just when it comes to form, it's not like he's played bad at Augusta either. He just hasn't closed. And for a second there, it looked like he was about to give it away. What an awesome finish that we had. I'm very happy it went to a playoff when he put that one to 5-6 feet on 18 in regulation. Yep. I thought that was it. I was like, there's obviously no way he misses this. I was like, but I'd love to see a playoff. And then playoff was everything we could have asked for too.
Yeah. So, I mean, Sunday was electric might be an understatement because Rory, I said on another show that Sunday as a whole was the last 10 years summed up of Rory in one round. It was up, down, amazing shot, horrible shot, losing it when you have it in your hands, gaining it from nowhere. It was just so incredibly up and down, so incredibly Rory. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say about Rory. He tried to choke it. He did what he did. But he's the Masters champion. He's a Grand Slam winner. He is top ex-golfer of all time, and we're here talking about him in a green jacket, something that a lot of people had strong takes about. Would he ever do it? Would he ever wear the jacket? And he did it. So Rory McIlroy, like, it's truly I bet Rory the last 3 years at the Masters, and I knew this year going into it I wasn't going to bet him because he was 6.5 to 1 because he was 6.5 to 1 for a reason. This was the most sense he'd ever made going into the Masters. Like last year, I think I bet him like around the 15 to the last 3 years. It was like 12 to 20 in that range. Yeah. So am I upset that I missed the 6.5 to 1 Rory when it made all the sense in the world? No, I'm really not. I'm happy to see him win. I'm not a Rory hater. I mean, was that the best major we've seen like in our lifetimes? It had to have been.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely up there, right? I mean, considering storylines and the way that it played out, I think if Rose would have made that putt in the playoff and they would have went to another one, that would have been even more electric because I wasn't ready to be done watching it. And
right. It
wasn't easy enough. Not that it's easy, but it was definitely makeable. And I think he was a little upset with himself that he didn't drop that. But yeah, it was that's got to be up there and with the best majors that we've seen in our lifetime.
All right. So talking about some bets, who was your? Because we didn't talk last week. Who were your top of the board guys? Who did you start your card with?
I actually was looking at Colin and JT. So like DFS wise, it was Rory, Colin, JT, based off of price. I pretty much started with Rory, and then sometimes could fit one of the two in with him, and then just went down the board. But I bet Hatton with an each way.
I saw you tweeted that. Okay.
I had.
You probably were feeling good about that through 36 holes, and then
I was. And the each way was top 7, so I was like, I mean, just hang around, and then he obviously faded on the weekend. But I had the future Willie Z 100-1, I think it was miscut.
I bet him at
which
what
heading into the week, I was like, I love that I have this 100-1.
Yeah,
bet it back in December, so obviously didn't go well there. But in terms of the outright market, I actually didn't bet on Colin or JT. I just thought Colin's 16 was a little too short as well. And JT, I don't know. I have such a love-hate with it. This is probably going to be the week he wins because I'm like, I don't even know what to do with him anymore. It's not like he's playing bad, but no. I just don't know when it's going to happen.
I mean, I started my card JT Connors. So JT was dead like before it even started. Like on Thursday, I was watching. I don't know how much you watched on Thursday, but he was hitting some shots like a 15 handicap would hit. He was fatting them, he was thinning them, but he ended up shooting one over. It was like it was one of those days where sometimes they say this is the best I could have shot or this was the worst I could have shot. Right. That was the absolute best Justin Thomas could have scored on Thursday. He pieced it together, got up and down in some crazy spots, but his game was just not all the way there. I started with that eagle on Friday, and then he ended up like doing nothing with it. Yeah. So I said last week, am I going to laugh at myself for starting my card with 25-1 Justin Thomas? And yeah, looking back at it, I was laughing at myself with it, but I didn't love. Obviously, like I liked Rory, but I wasn't going to go with that short, and I didn't love anyone else. So I went Connors, and that worked out okay.
Yeah,
Connors played some good golf, but I was like on the weekend, 65-1. Going to the weekend, I was like, all right, Connors is here, but not a prolific winner. He's going to have to do a lot. But looking back to Sunday, I think the moment just got a little bit too big for him because if he would have said 11 under gets to a playoff, 12 under wins, he probably was thinking he had to get to 14 going into the day. And I mean, I think he just tried to do too much. He 3-putt on the first hole. You're scrambling. You're trying to make up even more ground. Didn't birdie number 2. 3-putt again. So it's like I didn't have too much expectations, but 65-1 Corey Connors. I'm happy with the sweat he gave me. I had a sweat on Sunday, penultimate group. For not going to the top of the board, I thought it was okay, but just happy Rory got it done if I wasn't going to have the winner.
Yeah, and moving forward, like betting the Masters, I think every book knows how much money is going to be deposited and how much is going to be thrown on the outright market. So it's like you're not getting great value even in March. So I think futures is the way to go when it comes to the Masters specifically. I mean, I saw a bunch of numbers out there that I was like, I mean, if you really pay attention to it, every book has Masters odds up there. So it's like if you get like, say, JT slumps in the fall and you catch a crazy number that you're not going to get come April, it's worth at least looking at and checking in because, like I said, week of, it was pretty bad last week.
I think the futures are good above 50-1. Once you start getting in the 20s and 30s, like it's either going to be exactly there or it's going to be a guy who is playing really good and he's going to be at 15-10, which at that point, do I want to even bet him? So because I saw so many guys like at this time last year, like, oh, we need to get Victor Hovland 23-1 going into the Masters. Like, what are we doing here? And like the amount, one thing that actually makes me not upset, but I just have like a little like gripe with when guys have one good round, like a random guy, like, all right, major future, like it's the overreaction and recency bias to one good round of golf is just so funny. Like I saw people posting, like when Minwoo Lee was leading on Saturday of the Houston Open, Minwoo Lee, Masters future 80-1, like real galaxy brain take there. I wonder what got you on Minwoo Lee for the Masters. Like it wasn't hard to get there. So that's like that's the only thing I don't like about futures. But I think like 50, 100, you can actually find some value, like you said with Willie Z. But anything short of that, I would wait, because you do get Wednesday morning, you get some drift like from that like 30-40 range. You get some guys who will drift down, who are just not bet. So. But nonetheless, a beautiful Masters. If I'm going to miss a favorite, okay, like I'm not upset. It happens. Like, that's not our strategy of golf betting. I know we have the little different strategies, but that's not really our strategy.
Right.
But that leads us on to an elevated event. We waste no time. We're back at Hilton Head, a golf course we've seen 10 trillion times in our lifetime. And it's always a fun event. It leads to guys from the top of the board, guys who are shorter hitters. I think everyone is live this week. Maybe guys have some rust, and this is a great opportunity for some lesser names to win an elevated event. So I think this is a week where you can spray the board a little bit and get some hungry golfers who are ready to make a name for themselves. So I just really quickly just touch on Scotty Scheffler, and then we'll move down.
Yeah. So, God, I think this is another week where it's just like for as long as he doesn't win, I get more and more scared because he's not going away.
No.
The 4-1 is fair. We had just talked about us not betting Rory at 6.5, and we don't go to the top of the board. But like I said, it's fair. I'm not
Especially
getting
with
there.
No Rory in the field.
I'm not getting there, but at the same time, I think I'd rather bet Scotty at 4-1 than the next
two names,
3 or 4.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I will say, Scotty, I was very surprised to see his stat line at Augusta. He ended up losing strokes off the tee. And if you look back to recent, he's kind of losing in distance in terms of Scotty of the last 2 years. He's hitting it shorter. He's fine with accuracy, but he's still gaining off the tee usually. But think of the golf courses Scotty has done really, really well on. These somewhat positional, being both long, being straight and a little long. That's why we call him a positional bomber. It's a thing that doesn't make sense, but he hits those fairways while being long and straight. That'll work on a golf course like Hilton Head. And the general handicap of Harbor Town is you got to be a plotter, you got to hit fairways. But that was before this event became elevated. The last few years, when this event has become elevated, more top players are playing in the event. And if you know one thing about top players, they're longer, they're better drivers. So that's kind of making more of a distance bias on this at this golf course. So I really do think the guys who can hit it long and straight, who usually don't play this event, who are now playing this event, have a real advantage. And Scotty was a great example of that last year. I'm not saying Scotty's a bomber. I'm saying Scotty's longer and straighter than the average golfer.
Right.
So with that being said, that's just kind of like my course notes too, while talking about Scotty. It's a golf course that he's comfortable on, but he's not hitting the ball nearly as well as he was hitting it last year. And I'm waiting for the 7. Once we get the 7, and it's every week, it's going a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The last time he was 7, Bay Hill 2024, and we cashed him. So I'm waiting for him to get that 7, and then we will go from there. So Scotty Scheffler, you can get a top 5 at -125, which is probably the cheapest he's been in a long, long time. But outside of that, I think I'm out on. I know I'm out on Scotty. I probably won't even bet in the without market, consider it, because it's hard to win back to back. He doesn't really win back to back. He has before, but he doesn't do it often.
Right.
And hey, let's take him on.
Yeah. Haven't got burned this far. So it's like, like I said, I'm staying away from everyone 20-1 and shorter up to Scotty, but at the same time, I'm definitely not betting the 4-1.
Yeah. All right, let's go down the board. Is there a name? You mentioned you might pass these guys up. Colin X Ludwig. Those are the 11, 12, 13 guys, and depending on what book you're looking at. Yeah, you got to pick one here. You don't have to bet one, but you got to pick one here. Who is it?
If it's Colin X and Ludwig, it's definitely Colin.
I'm with you there.
Going right back. People can say what they want about him. he's playing as good as anyone. I mean, he didn't even have everything last week and still finished top 15 at Augusta. Plays well here. It just kind of makes sense. I mean, he's straight. He's got good long irons.
And he's longer than people think off the tee.
He is.
Like, he fits that narrative what I was running through.
He rates out top of my model again. I mean, it's gonna keep happening as long as he keeps playing this way. But yeah, it's a little short for me. But if I did have to start my card somewhere, it'd be Colin. I just think 11-1's a little too short.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. And there's a few reasons why I may or may not get to Colin. But I mean, when Colin was winning, like at a higher clip, he was parlaying good approach week, good approach week, good approach week. And he's doing that now. He's finally consistently gaining like 4+ on approach. It's not just like streaky 1-2 approach weeks. He's building some nice approach weeks. And he's coming off an approach week at TPC Sawgrass, which was his best approach week since the Players of 2023. Yeah. So he's really finding his iron game. I mean, hot take, Colin Morikawa is a good iron player, but he's putting it to another level. Like I said, he's a little longer than people think. If I had to pick one guy up here, it is Colin. But if you're in terms of building a card, you're spending a lot on an 11-1 Colin. For the win equity, at least the last 2 years, hasn't been there, because you can get similar win equity down 20 and below and just gather more names in an event where I think is going to be super volatile. So I'm with you there. We'll move down to the 20s. We're both on Colin, so hopefully it goes well. I mean, we've done well both being on a guy like guys before. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Something that's a bad thing if we're both on the same guy, but we've done well both being on the same guy. So
agree.
Pat Ice, 20, JT, Corey Connor, Shane Lowry, Russ, next range. One or two guys in here you like?
Same thing as with Cantlay. I don't love the number, but I love the way he sets up here. We can talk about win equity all we want. He's done it before. It's just been quite a while. Same as JT. But like you said, would you rather have Cantlay and JT together or Colin and then drop down further? I think I would just rather have the two bullets.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, no one's going to argue you on Cantlay at Hilton Head. It's a golf course that he's torched in his career. And one thing with Pat, like, you can try to get cute, bet Pat in majors, bet Pat in random events, but when Pat gets to Pat courses, he plays well. And this is surely one of them. I can do the 20. I don't think the 20 is horrible. No. I like, once he gets to like 19 or like below, I'm like, all right, what are we doing? But the reason I bet him at Valero, him at Valero at 19, I was like, he's going to be the same number at Valero than he is at Hilton Head, and it's going to be a much stronger field. Yes. So obviously that didn't work out, but he played okay. He's just so like, I struggle to believe in his seriousness as a golfer right now. Like, what is he? What are his motives? What are his goals? Is he trying to win tournaments? Is he trying to? And I think Colin Morikawa is trying to win. Like, he's real, and like, you guys can watch this, be like, what the freak is this kid talking about? But I think Colin Morikawa is really teeing it up like, I want to win so bad. I take every rep so seriously. Whereas Pat, what is he trying to do right now? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Colin also, I feel like, has a lot more pressure on him just because of the recent second place finishes and people saying that he can't win, when it's like, yeah, he can. Like, he has won plenty of times and people are doubting him. That's why, I mean, when odds don't make that much sense, and I'm not saying Colin's 11-1 doesn't make sense, but they're pushing him up so far to the point where they don't want you to bet him, because I feel like the books know it's coming as well.
Right.
Would you agree? Like, realistically, shouldn't he be 16-20?
No, I do agree. And the books are sharp in those regards. Like even last week when they priced Keegan at like 150, like Keegan, I was like, oh, that's a great number. But the book's like, this guy's not freaking winning. And he wasn't even close. So no, I do think you're right. So yeah, it's definitely a conversation that we're going to have with ourselves over the next few days when we're starting to build our card. Yeah. Do we go Colin? It is expensive. Or do we go to a guy that I kind of like, Russell Henley? I know he disappointed a lot of people last week, but I have a take that I believe last week was the first major of Russell Henley's career that he went into with real expectations. He
Right.
went into it like, oh, yeah, I won Bay Hill. I've played well at Augusta before. I'm on the Ryder Cup team right now. Like, I can win this damn thing. And really, can you, Russell Henley? I don't know. I don't think you can. And the pressure got to him. He missed the cut. But looking at his stat line, he gained 3 strokes on approach in 2 rounds. That's playing golf, and he's done nothing but stripe. He's played this event his entire career. It's a golf course that makes sense for Russ. So I think this is a great bounce back spot. I don't think the number is awful, and I just think he can get back into the flow of things with his game right now.
Yeah, I was on him until I saw the price tag. I would say it's just he does deserve to be up there, and to be honest, I kind of like the missed cut.
Yeah, no, I agree with you
because people will. And honestly, I wish the missed cut pushed him down a little further, because it's like if he would have finished in the top 15 last week, wouldn't he be in the same exact spot?
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Where would he be if he finished
How
at
much
15?
further could he really go?
He would be at most like 20 with JT. At most, like with JT, and like I think Connors. I said I bet Connors last week, but Connors 22-1 in this field is an unserious bet. I mean, he's gonna stripe it. He's gonna hit a ton of fairways and greens, but
yeah,
you're not getting the win equity at 20. I think Corey Connors will have the easiest top 10. He's minting top 10 finishes, but I don't see it like coming to fruition at 22.
I overlooked him. I overlooked him so bad last week. Like, the form was staring me right in the face, and I didn't take it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he would have cashed top 10 at most, maybe like a long each way. But yeah, I just thought I liked him going into the weekend. He had the good course history, and it's a golf course that he's played well on. So yeah, I would say in here, I'm with you on I like Russell Henley, and that's probably like the only guy I like. So let's go down to the 30 and below range. We're getting some drift on Tommy Fleetwood, but still nothing insane. Tommy and Vic are 30. J-Day is 35. And yeah. And then I guess I'll throw in the 40s too. Aaron Rai, Sung Jae, Sepp, Bob Mack, Jordan. This range, anyone catch your eye?
So the two that catch my eye are Aaron Rai and Bob Mack.
I like that.
The numbers throw me off a little bit. Like, do I think Aaron Rai is worth a 40-1 in a field like this? Probably not.
He's won it 40-1, but it was a weaker field. I agree.
Right. And he's a guy who we've been seeing 75s, 80s on in like full field events, because he started the year. I mean, he came into the year a top 20 golfer in the world, kind of stumbled out of the gate and then picked up his form. So he's playing really good right now. I mean, when it comes to, like, he rates out in my top 8 in the model, and that's strictly because the ball striking, the approach is ridiculous, and he just hits a huge amount of fairways. So
yeah,
I don't know.
In this range, I think I'm gonna go with a guy who I worry about the putter, but he's doing nothing since you can go back to the fall, like literally, no, the summer of last year. Sepp Straka has done nothing but stripe.
Yeah.
So hard. The dude has won. The dude knows how to win, and he was kind of chalky last week going into the Masters. And the number is 5. He's catching some buzz because I saw him around 60s. Now he's around 40s, but I mean, you can odd shop for sure. But I won on Sepp already this year. He's a man who I know wants to win. He's familiar with this area of the country. He's plays his best golf on Bermuda. I think I can get to Sepp at 40 or anywhere around this number.
Yeah, I was on him last week at Augusta, and obviously it didn't work out, but we've said it plenty of times. If you're on someone and you're off the very next week, it's going to come around and bite you, because you can't just cross out a guy because he missed the cut or didn't have his game the week prior. But the one thing about Sepp that's interesting here is the 2 top 5s in the last 3 years, because the 2025 Sepp Straka is a lot better than the 2022, 23, and 24 Sepp Straka.
Clearly, of course, he's comfortable on. So
yeah,
I like Sepp for sure. Go down the board a little bit. Let's get Daniel Berger 45-1, Minwoo, Denny, Wyndham, Maverick, Keegan, Justin and JJ Spawn, 45 to 65. Anyone on there catch your eye?
No shocker, but I actually did bet Maverick McNeely at 66.
I bet Maverick last week at the Masters.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't deserve to be this far down, in my opinion.
No, he doesn't.
He's playing too good the last 8 months to.
I love how well he's putt here too.
Here.
I love how well he's putt here. And he usually doesn't putt great on Bermuda, but I mean, he won the RSM, which is like this is the exact same event, basically. Yeah, I think I'm with you on Mav. So we both like Mav. We both like Colin. Let's have an identical card.
And yeah, it's just like I said, 66 to 1 with a top 6 each way on McNeely. It's like that was the kicker for me. Definitely.
He's so motivated. He's so I mean, a top 5, a top 3, like he wants the Ryder Cup so bad, and a win would do that.
Yeah.
He knows he could beat these guys.
He can play with anyone.
Rory. He doesn't have to beat Rory. Yeah, who the hell is Scotty Scheffler? Like, he could beat these guys easily.
And I mean, he doesn't rate out the best in my model, but it's also like he's just so flat across the board. He's everything you're looking for the most part.
All right, we'll do one more range, and then we'll open it up to anything. So, Benon, Akshay Bhatia, Pendy, Siwoo, Mike Kim, Posty, Davis Thompson, Matt Fitz, Sahith, like this 60 to 80 range. Who do you like in here?
Davis Thompson.
I'm with you. I bet Davis Thompson last week too. I'm with you on Davis Thompson. He was 5th in the field in birdies at the Masters in his debut. That's playing golf.
So the thing that caught my eye with Thompson as well, I mean, you can draw comps to literally any course you want, and no one can tell you that you're wrong. So I was just looking at some of the par 71s from last year that played difficulty-wise similar to Harbor Town. And like I said, par 71s that were in the same yardage area. Myrtle Beach Classic, he was T2, low fairway hit percentage. People miss a lot of fairways there. Davis Thompson was fine. Shriners Children's Open, TPC Summerlin's a par 71. That's just over 7,200 yards. He was T5, and his win at the John Deere was also a par 71. That was a little bit longer than this, but at the same time, a win, a second, and a 5th. And the way he's playing and the number, it's hard to pass up.
I'm sure you've seen some of the Ryder Cup comparisons, Europe to America, over these last 24 hours, and it's not looking great for us as American blood. We need Davis Thompson. We need Davis Thompson, a true thoroughbred 6'3" American who could dunk on our team. And that is what we need to win Bethpage. So, Davis, you got to win an event, and this could be one. This could be one. I'm in.
He is 5th in my model.
What else do you want? You bet the guy who's 5th in your model at 70 to 1 every time.
Irons have been good. Like you said, even the ball striking was fine last week. He just didn't putt.
Yeah, I mean, it was his first Masters. Like, yeah, he can for sure. And he lives in this area. He went to Georgia. Like, he's used to this area of the country. I'm down for Davis Thompson. We're kind of dialed. We're kind of aligned right now. I also really like Sahith Theegala, 75 to 1. I'm sure he can get a better number, but it's kind of a perfect storm. He had his best approach week last week since RBC Heritage last year. So that little click gets him back on track, hopefully, to go into a golf course that he's played well on before.
Yep.
I mean, at the core, I don't love the course for Sahith, but it's 7,500 to 1 on a high ceiling guy. He needs to hit that orange driving iron he has, or orange hybrid off every single tee, because he's a wizard with that club. So I'm definitely down for Sahith. Triple digits now. Who's a few names you like in the triple digits, and then we'll recap it all and give our bets.
So triple digits. Let's see here. God. Okay, there's one.
Who is it? Is it Bridgman?
No, it's like as far as you can go into the triple digits. Sammy Velmaki.
Really? I'm going to push back there. I don't like Sammy.
From an outright perspective, can he win Probably not in this field. 350 to 1 with a top 6 each way. I'm still going back and forth. The irons have been insane.
He won't be able to keep it anywhere near the fairway, I don't think.
That's my worry. And he's also arguably bottom 3 player in this field. He's just playing well right now.
Yeah, he is. I like Sammy on a golf course where you could spray it like Mexico. I mean, I'm not going to say like fade him like he's like a long shot.
He putted well on the surface. The ball striking proximity approach has been really good as of late. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what's worse. You know what's funny? We're seeing like Austin Eckroat price lower than Brian Campbell. Like that Nick Dunlap, that's a whole different conversation. He's like price lower than Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell led the field on approach on Sunday. The only person to birdie 11, Brian Campbell. That is something to note because that's really, really good stuff. I don't mind Rio Hisatsune. Again, he's played well for me at the Valspar, played well for me. What, the last event? Was that Valero? Oh, Valero? Yeah, I bet him there at like 150 to 1. Yeah. It's a similar number. This is a Rio golf course. Positional. Hit your irons or middle irons well. That's what he does. He's an electric factory. You're going to get a lot of ups and downs, but 200 in some spots. I like Rio.
220 you can get.
Yeah. I think that's.
He popped for me quite a bit in the model too, just because the recent form's been so good, and you can get a top 40 at nearly even money.
Yeah, I like that. Top 40s are nice.
Yeah.
Especially
in this field, that's
like that's he could definitely do that. There's like 35 golfers in this freaking field. He better finish top 40. Yeah, like all right, let's go to the top.
Dunlap. How about Dunlap being priced the exact same as Carl Phillips, the enemies?
The enemies. I mean, who was happier that Dunlap shot 90 in the whole world than Carl Phillips? I don't think anyone was happier. Now they're priced next to each other on the odds board. I'm actually going to screenshot this. And like, that is so funny. Winner gets, what's her name? Erica? Winner gets Erica. Honestly, I want to tweet that, but like, I think there's a world where like he could see it. And I don't want to like be an enemy with Nick Dunlap.
So now that like YouTube has taken over like content for golf and there's all these dating shows, shouldn't these two just play head to head for
every week?
Yeah. I mean, even if it was like a under the lights live style type 1v1 in Vegas or something, like I would watch.
I would watch without a doubt. I'd watch in a heartbeat.
That's where the money's at.
I do have to touch on Dunlap last because I'm a Dunlap truther. I do believe he shot 90 at Augusta, but I will say, I don't know if you saw some of those videos of him swinging driver on Thursday. It was not good, obviously. Nick Dunlap is no better than a 6 handicap right now. Truly no better than a 6 handicap right now, but he has so much dog that he bounced back and shot under par because his game is like he's like a PGA Tour Canada level player right now, but he's fully fueled on dog, grit, and motivation to beat Carl Phillips and keep his status up to get what he wants, which we know what he wants is, and that's if you're probably lost right now listening to this, but we know what Nick Dunlap wants. So I gotta give a shout out to him because you have a ton of dog for being no better than a 6 handicap playing Augusta National. So shout out Nick Dunn.
You know who's I'm pretty much done with too. If you look at the bottom of the leaderboard, what is wrong with Thurston Lawrence?
Dude, he's not in this field. He's not in this field.
No, he's not in this field. I'm just saying in general. Like I'm looking at the bottom of the Masters leaderboard.
Yeah, I know you've been on him. I know you've been loving him.
I mean, we're gonna start catching 1,000 to 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but he's not gonna play too much. Honestly, he's not gonna play like in these. I don't know how many events he's gonna like get into. He'll be in the week events.
He'll play 30.
I mean, yeah, he'll play everything that's not elevated. It was hilarious to see him in the Masters field. Like truly,
but
he finished 12.
I think he's in all 4 majors.
That's so funny because he won the Open. Who could forget?
basically. And he was top 40 or top 35 in the world golf rank when the calendar flipped.
Yeah. Oh, well then there you go. Thurston Lawrence, your guy. All right, give me 3 of your outright bets, or we'll go back and forth. Give me one, and then we'll do the matchup. And
let's start with Colin Morikawa, 11-1.
Colin, you're gonna pull the trig. All right,
I'm gonna pull the trigger. Yeah.
I'm going to go to Russ. I like the bounce back spot for a guy who's proven he could win in the last 3 years. So I'm going to go Russ 25, 30, whatever you can get.
Second one, I'm going to go Maverick McNeely, 66-1. If you can get the top 6 each way, great. If not, still really good value.
All right. I'm going to go with Davey, a guy who's a positional bomber. Definitely can hit it out there and give himself some short clubs and can make birdies in bunches. So Davey T, 70-1.
Davis Thompson was going to be my third as well. So actually, we can collab on that.
Yeah.
Let's collab on a Davis Thompson and hope to get the second win in the last 12 months. You never know.
All right, and then yeah. I mean, you never know. I when I saw Davis Thompson at Torrey Pines, like my take on him was this guy's going to be a top 10 player in the world sooner than later. So, because just like from pure athleticism, like stature, he looked like the best players in the world visually.
He doesn't even look like a golfer.
No, he carries himself that way. So I was like, damn, this kid's a stud. I think he's going to be. So yeah, in order to get there, you have to win. So let's ride the wave. David T. And then my third one I'll be Tom Hoge. Tom Hoge still at a disrespectful number. He's played well here before. He's finally striping the irons consistently. Played really well recently at the Valero. He played all right at the Masters too. Played great at the Players. 90-1 in this field. Like, I'm down for Hoge.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a positional.
All right. Let's go. Max Grazerman, top 30 plus 140.
Graze, he can make every single putt here. I'm down.
That's my worry. I usually don't target putters. He's really good on and around this surface. It's just the irons have been so bad. But when you're getting plus money on a top 30 for Grazerman, I mean, you got to take some shots.
All right. I will go with a guy that I've been kind of high on recently, and he's been up and down, but he's showing some signs. Top 20, Ricky Fowler, plus 230. He needs it. He needs to play well. And this is a golf course that he's been hitting his irons better. I worry about the putter more than anything. I worry about him, that freaking Lab DF3 or whatever he uses. I don't like it at all. But it's comfortable. But he misses so many short putts. As a Lab owner myself, I have one of those. The short putts hook. Like, I'm not a professional golfer, but the short putts hook. And look, watch Ricky on short putts. He misses them low all the time. So, Rick. But I think he can hit it well enough to be finished out of the top 20. Do you have a matchup?
I don't.
All right, I'll do the matchup. I'm going to go with minus 110, Carl Phillips over Nick Dunlap. Winner gets Erica. And, yeah, so I think you can wager on that to give you a little electricity going into the weekend. No cut event. So this is a no cut event, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 4-day sweat for Erica Baker, and I think Carl gets her back. So let's do it. Dom, thank you for staying a little bit longer than we usually do, but that was a fun pod, and we will be back next week with who knows what event it is, but we'll be back for it, and we'll talk some golf. So, Dom, thanks for joining.
See ya.